The NFL used to provide 3 cut-down days during the NFL preseason, one after each of the first 3 preseason games. But the structure of the preseason is changing, and so too is the nature of cut-down day. Now, just a single cut-down day from 90 to 53. And guys, I think that cut down day for the Chiefs this year is going to get fairly spicy. And we have an article today. Now, the first thing I want to talk about with this article is that I'm going to be talking about 2/3 of the article. I do not wish to usurp the usefulness of the article, so I will let you know that if you are a hardcore Chiefs fan, it is that remaining third of the article that is going to be more interesting than the 2/3 of the article that I am presenting today because of the players talked about in that section of the article. There's 3 players talked about in that section, and I have covered, I believe, none of those players on this channel. So certainly go over there to KC Kingdom and check that out. The article is titled 4 Winners and 1 Loser from Chiefs Rookie Minicamp in 2025. That one loser, probably all of us know, probably on draft day all of us knew, not to mention the moment that those UDFAs became available. We all knew it was a particular ignominious wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. Do something with that one, Pepe. Ignominious. The article was written by Brian Sampson, and this is what part of it says. The winner, Jalen Royals. Now, the other part of the article that I will not be presenting is 3 other winners, but Jalen Royals here. Jalen Royals was already a winner the moment the Chiefs called his name during the 2025 NFL Draft, but he kept that momentum going throughout rookie minicamp. Royals spent 3 seasons at Utah State, flashing serious playmaking ability in his final 2 seasons, especially in 2023 when he posted 71 receptions for 1,080 yards and an eye-popping 15 touchdowns. A foot injury cut his 2024 season short, limiting him to just 7 games, but he still managed 55 catches for 834 yards and 6 scores. When healthy, he was a consistent end-zone magnet. At 6 foot, 205 pounds, Royals has solid size and strong hands. He's not a burner, but he plays smart. His high football IQ and solid route running will help him win matchups that raw speed alone can't. His body control is one of his defining traits. He knows how to shield defenders, make tough catches in traffic, and adjust on the fly, which will allow him to line up inside or out at receiver. I think he's going to be out at receiver with the smaller, more diminutive Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown in the slot. While defenders won't lose sleep over his deep speed, his 4.42 second 40-yard dash proves he's fast enough to keep defenses honest. 4.42 that's good enough to have. That's deep speed. That is good enough to be a deep threat in the NFL, especially when you are as good at tracking the ball as is Jalen Royals. Kansas City doesn't need him to be the field-stretching threat. That's already covered. What they need is another dependable target, especially in the red zone, and Royals fits that bill perfectly. He averaged over a touchdown per game across his final 2 college seasons, and that nose for the end zone could quickly earn him trust in Kansas City's offense. It is really, really weird that the Kansas City Chiefs don't have end zone targets. Even Travis Kelce isn't really a back of the end zone guy. Rashee Rice has most of the tools to be a back corner of the end zone wide receiver. We haven't seen it. Xavier Worthy, I mean, he proved in the Super Bowl that you can just loft it up there and he'll run under it, right? But that's not exactly a red zone threat. Royals came out of the draft with momentum, and rookie minicamp only confirmed the hype. His arrow is pointing straight up. Loser, Skyy Moore, wide receiver. The Chiefs are suddenly loaded at wide receiver, which puts some players further down the depth chart in a tough spot, especially Skyy Moore. At the top are Xavier Worthy and Marquise Brown, both of whom bring elite speed and vertical threat ability. Worthy, in particular, looks like a budding star and is a game changer in this offense. Just look at his average in the Super Bowl. Veteran Juju Smith-Schuster is also back in the mix. While he's not the same player he was in his 2018 prime, he's still a reliable third or fourth option with valuable experience. Rookie Jalen Royals, who was just highlighted as a big winner from rookie minicamp, is already pushing for a significant role, and the team could end up starting opposite Worthy if that momentum continues. Pardon me, I was sidetracked trying to find my notes here. And we haven't even gotten to Rashee Rice. The Rashee Rice tore his ACL in late September. He was on pace for a breakout season, recording 24 catches and 288 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 4 games. Reports indicate that he's progressing well and has been working out with Patrick Mahomes this offseason. I have never done the math on this, so I wanted to pull this up after seeing these stats broken down. So Rashee Rice, 288 yards through 4 games. Yeah, through 4 games. That's a 72-yard average. Over 17 games, that would have been a 1,224-yard season. Reports indicate that he's progressing well and working with Patrick Mahomes this offseason. If he's truly full go, that adds another name to an already crowded room. Moore, a second-round pick in 2022, number 54 overall, has yet to live up to expectations. In 3 seasons, he's totaled just 43 receptions for 494 yards and 1 touchdown. A core muscle injury cut his 2024 season short after just 6 games. I have doubts. Now, call me a conspiracy theorist, okay? I will take that. The Chiefs organization seems to try to do well by their players. I said last preseason, I don't think B.J. Thompson ever plays another down of football. That kind of incident, whatever it actually ended up being, very difficult for you to convince anyone that you can step on a professional football field after that, because that was a freak thing for which there was no planning, for which there was no warning. Still, the Chiefs kept him on the roster all year, likely covering some medical expenses, etc. I think it is likely Skyy Moore was done last year. Skyy Moore was never going to see the field for the Kansas City Chiefs again. Skyy Moore likely had some lingering issue with something that did not require surgery, perhaps, or did not require immediate surgery, perhaps. Something that was hurt, but not injured. Something that was, so I have a bad ankle. The doctors have told me it kind of doesn't matter what you do on it. You're not going to make it worse. Could you get surgery? Yeah, maybe, I guess. It's not really going to help you. It's not going to help with mobility, but you could do it. It won't hurt as bad sometimes. That, I think, is what was going on with Skyy Moore. Whatever it was, Skyy Moore has never complained. Not that we know of. Skyy Moore has been a good workhorse for what he's worth, right? Hasn't lived up to expectations, but he has tried. It seems it was just a hole in scouting, right? So if he has this thing that needs to be cleaned up before he moves on to the next stage in his career, the organization can go ahead and do that for him. They've got the money. They are one of the most valuable teams in the NFL now, at least we would be led to believe. And while he's now fully healthy, his role in Kansas City's offense is anything but secure. He's entering the final year of his rookie deal with a $2.5 million cap hit. While that's not a heavy number, the Chiefs could save $1.58 million by releasing him before the season starts, something that seems more realistic given the current depth chart. Reclaiming That $1.5 million would put them close to $14 million of cap space. Now, here is, I pulled this up just for reference here, the wide receivers that played for the Kansas City Chiefs last year. There are 11 of them. Justin Watson is gone. Montrell Washington, I believe, is gone. DeAndre Hopkins is gone. Mecole Hardman is gone. So that's 4 names out of that 11. You're down to 7. You're down to 7 names. There will be wide receivers on the practice squad. It probably, I would guess, at least 2. Why would there be at least 2? Why would you need all of that insurance? Xavier Worthy is 97 pounds. Where are we at here? Marquise Brown is 99 pounds and has an injury history in the NFL. Rashee Rice is injured, and newcomer, where are we at here? Jalen Royals. Never mind. I thought it said what his injury was. He was injured last season as well. So you have a bunch of wide receivers that have injuries or injury histories, or they are lighter than the identification that they carry in their wallet. So we have 7 guys that, or we have 1, Xavier Worthy, definitely on the roster. 2, Jalen Royals, definitely on the roster. 3, Rashee Rice, definitely on the roster. 4, Hollywood Brown, definitely on the roster. That's 4 names. You carry somewhere between 5 and 7 wide receivers most of the time. Remember, it was not that long ago that when the Kansas City Chiefs declared they were carrying 7 wide receivers on their 53-man roster, we were kind of shocked. It was a big number. It's become something that they've just kind of started to do. So 4, without question. I believe Elijah Badger is going to be an NFL wide receiver, is going to be an NFL wide receiver this year, and is going to be good enough to get on the field. That's 5. I personally am extremely partial to Nico Remigio. I think that he adds a lot in the return game. He seems to be a very promising punt returner. I don't know if that's good enough to make the roster. I really don't know if that's good enough to make the roster. Maybe it is. Maybe someone else can emerge. It seems that teams every season just kind of make a punt returner out of someone. Now, I'm going to leave Nico Remigio off. I am extremely partial to Nico Remigio. So we're leaving 5, right? We've got those 5. Justin Ross. I'm leaving Justin Ross off. Juju Smith-Schuster. Guys, he might be wide receiver 6. Juju Smith-Schuster might be wide receiver 6. Tyquan Thornton, I believe, adds some very interesting things to the passing game because of his height and his speed. When you are missing a Xavier Worthy, when you are missing a Hollywood Brown, you look at Hollywood Brown's career, very likely he's not going to play all 17 games. When you are missing one of those guys, Tyquan Thornton can do all of the same things in the offense. He's not as good a player. Not making that case. But you need the top taken off the defense. 6'2", 4.24 speed, 4.27 speed, something like that. That will take the top off of the defense. When you know Patrick Mahomes is back there, shrugging his shoulders and saying, screw it, we're going to try it, that will take the top off of a defense. I think Mac Delana, so that's 7. I think Mac Delana really is a promising wide receiver. I think that he could be one of your practice squad guys. That's 8. You're probably looking at 9 names total. Jason Brownlee, Jimmy Holiday, Skyy Moore. That's it. So between those guys and Nico Remigio, I guess one of those guys makes the practice squad. I don't know if Nico Remigio makes the practice squad again because I don't know what it is that Nico Remigio brings to the practice squad. Does that make any sense? That doesn't make any sense, I don't think. I think that Nico Remigio's primary function in the NFL at this point is punt returner. I don't know if you keep a punt returner on your practice squad. So outside of that, you're looking at, is Jimmy Holiday good enough to want to keep on your practice squad to develop? Is Justin Ross going to make that practice squad once again simply for the promise of being maybe some percentage of what it was that Justin Ross could have been? Justin Ross has looked good in the training footage that we see with Mahomes this offseason. So I think that there are so many moving parts here. There are so many different little things to take into account. And I think guys like Skyy Moore just aren't going to make the roster. If there is someone that jumps out in training camp, if there is, pretend Tyquan Thornton and Patrick Mahomes develop a connection. He just likes winging it deep to a guy who's 6'2" and runs a 4.2 something 40. That could happen, in which case maybe Juju Smith-Schuster's not on the roster, right? There are so many little things that could happen here that you might be looking at the end of Mecole Hardman, who was on the Kansas City Chiefs last year, Justin Watson, who was on the Kansas City Chiefs last year, Skyy Moore, and Juju Smith-Schuster all gone before the next season comes. So I just think it's an interesting talking point. That's all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.